Hello guys, and welcome to my macro tutorial for beginners. Now, in this game, the idea isn't to explore what magical builds you need to learn. Do you need to go into Colossus tech? Do you want to go for Siege Tank? Any of that nonsense. This is all about macro and just building probes. Now, a lot of the time when the new players come onto the forums and ask for advice about what they should do better, the old veterans simply say, you need to macro. Now, while it's true, that's not exactly all there is to it, but they don't really tell you how to practice macro. I mean, how do you practice playing faster, not missing everything? And I will suggest the following method, which I'm about to demonstrate now. Whew. Okay, so all I'm doing here is a medium game against the Terran AI, which is very easy for me to beat. And we're not going to be worrying about anything. We're not going to be worrying about scouting. We don't care about our unit composition. We're not even going to go into Robotech. All we're going to do is build gateways and keep building probes. These things. So the first thing I recommend you do is you hotkey your nexus on whichever number's comfortable for you. Most players do 3 or 5. I prefer 1. It's just personal preference. And to do that, you select the nexus, hold down Control, and then the number key you want to hotkey it to. So, at 9 supply, when we get 100 minerals, we are going to build a pylon. Doesn't really matter where you build it, just build a pylon. Very cool. And I've just realised this is a tutorial, so I shouldn't really spam at all. So we're just waiting for the pylon. So all we're going to do this game is get on 2 base. That is the idea. But we're not going to miss a single probe. So when it gets to the end, you build a probe every single time, because missing even just a few is really crucial. And of course, most beginners players, they'll not be building probes for an entire minute or something, which basically loses you the game. As you are, well, I think one probe mines between 40 and 50 minerals. 40, 50? Yeah, that sounds about right to me. So after 4 minutes of being 1 probe behind, that's 4 less zealots you could have. That's 8 less marines. That's quite a lot. So I put my gateway down on 13 there. Still building probes, and we're just going to keep doing that. We don't care what the enemy's doing. We're just going to focus on probes. Now let's get gas at 15. If any of you that have noticed, this is the same as my 3-gate robo build. Well, not really my 3-gate robo build, but the 3-gate robo build I use. But again, that's not important. We're not focusing on build orders. We're just making sure we don't get supply blocked. I actually put that pylon down slightly late, so I might... Whoa, lag. And then we're just going to keep macroing away, making sure there's always a probe being built. It's also a note, you shouldn't queue up all 5, that's very bad, because you might suddenly need a military unit, then find you can't build it, because all your money is invested into probes that have not been built yet, which is obviously not very good. So we're just continuing to make sure we don't get supply blocked. And once we start getting a lot of money, we will try and... Oh, I thought I put 3 in there, that was bad. We will try and expand and build more gateways and conquer the world. Not worrying at all about strategy, we're just macroing. So now, if we look, my money's getting a little bit high, and I'm constantly churning out military units, so I think it's time to build another gateway. But of course, gotta keep building them probes. If I stop probe production once, I failed in this tutorial, essentially. So it's a little bit of pressure. Not too much, though. And we'll just keep getting more and more resources. As we should. Too many probes queued, I've cancelled that one. See? That allowed me to build a gateway. Now I can get that probe. And, of course, we want more military units. Gotta keep producing military. Very important. And my money's getting a bit high again, so I'm going to throw down another gateway. And this is all we're doing. We're not worrying about cheese. We're not worrying about, should I build this? Should I expand now? Should I do any of that? We're just making sure we're constantly producing probes. And that is really all you have to do to get out of bronze and probably silver too. Just keep building probes. Equally, if you're Terran, SCVs, if you're Zerg, drones, although Zerg is slightly different, but in most cases you can. So we're just going to keep on macroing away. And notice I don't think I've missed a probe yet. But often in Bronze League games there'll be things like 10 probe differences between two players. And that really is game ending at anything above gold if you're 10 harvesters behind. It's really not good. So now we look, I have 4 gateways up. Still macroing away. Still making sure we're producing probes. Warp gate is just finished, which is good. So I'm thinking maybe I want to take another base. Because eventually this is going to get saturated. I mean, look at this. In fact, that's almost ideal. The ideal number of probes. So really, we should go and take another base at this point. But don't stop building. Because probes that are here, we can move to our new base when it is ready. So I'm just going to move these units down the bottom of the map, ramp for protection, put them on hold ground, making sure I'm still building those probes. And we'll just place an expansion there. And make sure this guy's not idle. We'll build the gas, ready for when the workers are, and then we'll put him back mining. Now notice, because I've got 2 nexus hotkeyed, I don't have this screen anymore. But that's good, I see when there's 1 dot, okay, there's been 1 dot for a while, I'll queue up another one. Because obviously I won't be looking at this nexus the whole game, I will be doing other useful stuff. And we should be building units, shouldn't we? Our minerals were getting a bit high there. Still not missing probes. Can't afford to miss probes, and this is all we're going to do. Oh, there's a little bit of an attack going on there. We're going to force field them to trap them. Might try and save that zealot. Ah, yes, that was good. Save that zealot as well. And of course, don't miss the probe production while that's going on. I was pressing my hotkey 1, press E, and there you go, that's all you do. But we're just going to keep playing standard for the moment. And we're going to get ready to transfer. That's actually quite a lot. And we're going to transfer all those probes about now. Hopefully I've timed that right. And we'll just get all our military back on hold ground now. We really want a few more sentries, so I'll just warp in 4. Not too bothered about the unit composition. And we'll use some chrono boost because I've been saving it up for a while. So we'll chrono out some probes. Take a quick look at our supply. We're not going to get supply blocked anytime soon. And we should really build more gateways because we have the money. Build 1 more there. Excellent, and now I'm going to chrono these out again. Obviously if you're chronoing probes you can queue up 1 or 2, because otherwise you're going to be going back to it every few seconds to click on it. And we're just going to put 3 in gas geysers. Really good. Now we're going to compare. This mineral line's still very saturated, that one not so much, so I'm going to transfer more probes. The idea being if I lose this mineral line in a disaster, I can still have minerals in my main base because I won't have mined them all out. And it's more efficient to spread your probes in this manner. So we're up at 10 minutes in the game timer. I'm going to have to go and kill them soon because of YouTube video time limits. So knowing that, I'm going to use my money and build more gateways. But still building probes. Haven't forgot 1 yet. Now of course when you do this, a good thing to do would be to play how I am now and then look at a replay of how you played when you were playing the game normally and compare the supply difference. So you can see how much of a difference it would make. Bit low on minerals, that's because we're going very heavily into probes I think and gateway production. But I'm just going to go and place a pylon there. Woo. I might as well chrono them since I queued up so many. And I'm going to place down a lot of pylons here because I'm going to be going very aggressive very shortly. Again, I don't know what composition they have. They could have siege tanks at the top of their ramp for all I know. I don't care, I'm just practicing macro. Even if I lose this game, or even if you lose this game if you use this method, it doesn't matter. We're just practicing macro. If you don't miss probes, you've succeeded. That's what we're aiming for. We're not aiming to win, we're aiming to not miss probes. Right, we're going to move the army out, we're going to sacrifice that probe to see what they actually have. So that's the only bit of scouting I'm doing the entire game. This suicide probe. Right, they don't have an expansion, of course a human player almost certainly would at this point. I see marauders, marines, not much else, okay. More zealots, and we'll just literally order them to go there. But we're going to keep on top of probe production, and we're going to expand while this attack's going on. Expanding while you attack is always good. It's the best way to defend it. That's actually off place. Oh, whoa, my hotkeys, my hotkeys. Ah, alright, let's This is a good example of macro. I placed that in the wrong place. There we go. And we'll just go and decimate this. And because my macro has been so much better than the computer's, this game is essentially completely over. There is absolutely nothing they can do. I saw an SCV escape. I'm wondering what it's doing. Whoop! No pro production. That's bad. That's the first time I've done it in the game. Of course, you just practice this until you never ever miss probes, which is very useful. And I'm expecting them to surrender. Yeah, I found it. Excellent. GG. Good game. And that's that. Way too much gas there. Not so many minerals. I needed a third base much earlier, really. But that's the idea. We just want to keep building workers now. How many did I build? 72? Pretty good number. You want to be around 70. You don't want to go too much over that. Otherwise, you won't be able to build enough army. However, early in the game, when you're just learning to play, I wouldn't really worry about getting too many workers at this stage. I would just focus on getting enough. I mean, the computer had 15. That was medium AI. And it's fairly obvious with the resource difference there. It's just crazy. And of course, if you're really pedantic, you can go back, watch the replay on ×8 speed, press D on the keyboard, and make sure that never stops. Probe, probe, probe. Probe. And you can actually time how long it stops, so you can work out how long you were not building probes in the game. And that will show you how much you can improve by doing this. So just play games like this. And then when you go back to play on the ladder, you should instinctively be going back and building more probes than you would have been prior to practicing. So that's how you practice macro or probe production on its own. Just play a game like that, forget everything else. If you're practicing scouting, for example, you will go mental scouting, your macro will probably go down the hill. It doesn't matter too much. So, I hope this has been useful to you guys. That's macroing for beginners. See ya.